So when you're working with Excel allows you to create charts. And then what chart basically does is that is a kind of graphical representation of our data. If you're working as a data analyst, your work is not just going to be completed when you've not exported these files or maybe graphically presenting it to a company you're working for. Right. Take for example that you or an employer may want to see understand what you are communicating, all right, from this data here, like in a visual way or graphical way. So you have to transform this from this data here, the values that we are putting here. Someone may not really understand this well. So what is Lagos? What is 200? What is 240? Right. So you can use charts to graphically transform this to that. And then we have different charts in Excel. We have the bar chart, we have column chart or bar chart to say, and we also have what is called the pie chart. Okay, we have scattered diagrams, and we have histograms. We have the different charts available. Okay, now let's say we want to transform this to a chart, for example a column chart. So what you have to do is you have to select the the data you want to work with or you want to transform to that chart. So highlight and select all here, then go to here you can click on recommended chart. All right, these are the recommended charts for this. Then we also have what is called okay, for map. So you can use map here, you can use a stacked column. These are the recommended ones. You can use scatter diagrams here to trying to compare to at least two set of values. So we also have many types here. So we are going to start with this column chart. And now once you've selected the chart you want to work with, you can as well as see all the charts here by going to all chart. And here we have the column chart, or we call it column chart. Now you can select this. All right, so just tap on here and then click OK. So once you've clicked OK, we are going to see our chart in front of us here. Now, looking at this chart, looking at here, you can see these three options here, the plus sign here, which means chart element. We also have chart styles, we have chart filter. Looking at the chart here, we have to give it a title. So you can either double click on here to give it a title, maybe a chart of the states or regions with their different, let's say this is population. Let's just assume that these are the population of people in 2021. We had this population in 2022. We had this population of persons in that particular state. It's just an assumption because I know obviously Lagos can't have 2,000 persons in the year 2021. There are about millions of people in Lagos. Okay, now this is a chart of this versus this, so you can select this and then you rename it. Okay, but let's look at this. Click on the plus sign and we have some elements that are checked. One of them is the axis, right? The axis are these two, this one here, right, containing the population here, then containing the regions here. So once you uncheck this, you will not be seeing that. So you would want to display everything here. Then we have the other one for axis title. Okay, now what happens is that Excel allows us, once you hover your mouse on that option, you can see a preview of it on your chart. Okay, so let's take this. I think we would want this because we like to give this title for this axis. Let's say population, and then for here maybe let's give it a region, or we can use states, but let's use region as we have in our data. And or regions, that's going to be plural. Then on the plus sign, we have what is called the data labels. I think we wouldn't want to use this, but sometimes you may be asked to add labels to your data. Okay, because for you to trace each of these data points on this column charts, so most times it will be difficult. So you can either add labels on top, but looking at it is not really presentable, so you won't be doing that. Okay, so there are also options here. Where do you want to place? At the center, inside, end. All right, so we have different placement positions here. Then we also have what is called the data table. Right, we have data tables here, so you can bring the table of it down here. So we have different error bars. We have grid lines. So we actually need these grid lines. There's something called also the trend line. So these are the key ones that we'll be looking at. And then once you come to your style here, once you come to these styles, you can work on the styles of your charts. We have the different styles. These are the different background depending on what your employer wants or what you want in particular. Right, we have the different colors here. You can choose to go with any of these colors here. All right, so let's select the first one. Then we also have the filter here. Go to file, let's go to print. And this is how our chart will come out, like once we print out. And most times it's best you use a color printer when you are printing your charts for proper view. Now looking at this chart, we see that in 2021, right, let's get back to this chart here. In 2021, we have these blue bars here. So 2022 are these orange bars. That means in the region of Lagos in 2021, we had about 200 persons in population. So now using this to show to anyone, like anyone that doesn't understand maybe data, you can use this picture, this graphical representation to tell them, okay, right, this is Lagos 200. We have Lagos here, but in 2022, we had about an estimate of, all right. So once you take this mouse close to here, close to that, you see the end point, which is the value is 240. Okay. All right, so thank you so much, and I expect to see you in our next class.